Trump just announced he's going to give every American citizen $1 million on their birthday this year. Folks, before I tell you more, please subscribe, like, and share. You know, folks, I'm the one that came out with that idea. Now, if you believe that then I had some swampland in Florida for you for sale. Really? You know what? In all honesty, they can give $1 million to every U.S. citizen. And that only comes to 340 million something dollars. That's a little over a third of $1 billion. But yet, we gave Ukraine 44 billion so far, Israel, and these other countries. I'm willing to bet. Good morning, Lindy. How are you? Thank you for joining me. You know, I'm willing to bet you that if Donald Trump did give $1 million to every U.S. citizen, if he stopped all the wars in the world, if he eliminated all crime in the world, those people that hate him will still hate him. That word hate, you know, hate's a very powerful emotion, like love. There's not much difference in the energy that both of those put out. I wanted to share that with you because, you know, I did something yesterday, a couple of days ago, talked about Trump meeting with Putin in Alaska. And yesterday he had everybody in the White House, all right? Somebody said I need a haircut. Hate will eat you alive, Lindy, and you're so right. Folks, I want to tell you a story. I don't like talking politics because it's a subject you can't win, you can't lose, okay? But let me tell you, I grew up in a small town in upstate New York called Rome, New York. Population of the city was about 40-something thousand people. We lived at 215 West Liberty Street. We had a duplex home. On one side, me, my mother, father, 2 brothers, and 3 sisters lived. On the other side, my grandmother, grandfather, 4 uncles, and 1 aunt lived there. When my grandmother passed away, it was my mother's responsibility to cook for everybody. Add up the number of people there, folks. 8 in my family, 13 people I think it comes to. I remember, you know, we had a shed and they built a door so in the wintertime they didn't have to go outside to come in, all right? And from the shed you came right into our kitchen, okay? And it was an awesome environment, folks. 13 of us my mother cooked for. Never complained one time. My father provided. My father was a Democrat. Table, and my uncles, they all were in the war. They all fought. They all saw action. Yeah, a lot of action. And World War II. They were Republicans. You know, and I remember the election when Eisenhower won. Like Ike. I remember seeing them signs all over. And Adlai Stevenson was the Democratic nominee running against him. At our table, there was never an argument. There was never no hatred. We talked. Everybody had their side, who they liked. But we talked to each other. We did things together. That's how it used to be when we grew up. My time. A lot of people say I grew up at the best time in history. I don't know if I did or not, because I guess every age group will say that that they grew up. But I grew up at a time where our neighbors, we talked to each other, we played with the kids in the neighborhood. We never had to lock our doors. Those were such good times. But the hatred people have. And somebody wrote me, and I'm going to repeat what he wrote me, somebody in the comments, and he's absolutely correct. I can't remember who it was, so I apologized. Okay? I'll tell you what I'm doing in a minute, Stefan. Okay? Hang on. Listen. And subscribe. Folks, please subscribe and like. I don't know why people don't. Oh, I don't want to like because it stays in my thing. It stays in there for a little bit of time. All right? You folks, no respect. This country's got no respect. It upsets me. It upsets me tremendously what's happened to this country. And who do I blame? I blame the parents. I don't have a lot of notes. I didn't print nothing out. Today's subject's about what's going on in the world. All right? You can read in my book how I grew up, what I did. But I get these haters. And they are not Democrats. We don't have a Democratic Party no more. We have the Liberal Party, and we have the MAGA Party. It's changing. Okay? Stefan, what do you got? You got a heart on for me today, Stefan King? All right? Let me tell you about my children. I got 3 children. They all are respectful. They all work. They do extremely well. And they've been reading since they were this high. My ex-wife was a school teacher, read to them. They got college degrees. The one who doesn't have a college degree is one of the biggest pool contractors in Florida. Yeah, one of the biggest and best. There's only 2 pool contractors who could build pools on roofs. My son is one of them. And he's got the same name as I do. Okay? He's my oldest son. So, my kids got it because we pass it on. I learned respect, honor, and loyalty from my father. Okay? I saw, let's say Trump did give $1 million to everybody. Let's say he really did that. You know how long it would be before the majority of them would be broke and had no money and had to file bankruptcy? Within 6 months. Somebody said I don't read the chats. I read every single comment, and I answered every single comment I get. Okay? I'm probably the only one on YouTube. All right? Oh, see how somebody's grandfather ran as a Democrat and was threatened by Mondale. See now? That's coming later in life. You see what I mean, folks? How the gradual thing changed? I don't have the answers how we're going to fix this. And whether you like it or not, okay? I am a no party affiliate. I don't belong red, I don't belong blue, okay? And I'm no longer calling blue Democrat because they are not Democrats. Like me, don't like me, okay? All right, I see people, you know what makes me laugh? Once I talk politics, okay, I see people unsubscribing, all right? Because they don't like my point of view. Now, see how childish that is? Why can't they just be a real man, a real person? I respect you no matter what your choice is. Because we have freedom of speech in this country. A lot of countries don't have that. So, folks, you got your coffee? People are weaker. Men are not men no more. We don't have men in this world. Men don't dress no more. Men don't have no class. You know who buys my book? All right? You know who buys my book? 75% of women buy my book. Mac Ryan, Lunar, Victoria, I want to try to say hi to everybody here. All right, Black Knight, man, trained in the military. Now, see now, folks, that's good. Because the military teaches you honor, loyalty, and respect. I was very disappointed. I can't remember what president it was. Sorry, folks. All right. A very important phone call. It's a money guy, and I'm trying to put a deal together so you want to know what I'm doing. I'm trying to raise money for some guys in the cannabis business that have a farm in North Hollywood and one in Oregon. They're doing great business, and I'm trying to raise $3 million for them. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. If you want to know what I'm doing currently. In addition, I just heard, I told you earlier about one of the producers on my show, a young lady, only 57 years old, by the name of Denise Loren, Loren. And she just passed away this morning. We knew it was going to happen, but she passed away. The cancer just ravished her body. And, it's pathetic. She's a young girl, great husband, and children. So it's kind of sad that happened, but, it is. All right? Thank you, Stefan. Don't worry about it, my friend, okay? I appreciate you coming here. You got freedom of speech. And Michael said that? Yeah, Michael. Michael and I talk, all right? We haven't talked for quite a while. But, he's busy, I'm busy, and you guys are busy. The whole world's busy. All right? Linda, you're 60. What are you sorry for? Linda, you got nothing to be sorry for. All right? Be happy, folks. I read something last night, and it goes along with everything I've always been telling you. Remembering people's names. Hey, Lindy, how you doing? Let's say I walk in a store and I see Lindy, all right? Or I see Darcy, okay? I walk in a place or anywhere, and I see you. Hey, Lindy, how are you doing? How's the family? Hi, Darcy, all right? Hi, Carter Jones, I'm sorry. Okay? You know that brightens people up. I do that all the time. I know the clerks in grocery stores. I told you this. All right? I know clerks in grocery stores. I walk in, I say, good morning. And hi, Janet. How you doing? How's the wife? How's the husband and the family? I brighten their day up. A simple thing like that will brighten your day. Well, yes, Carter, I am from New York, yes. Uh, but, folks, let's think about it. Let's go back to that $1 million again. I didn't give it much thought when I first announced it the other day. I thought to myself, wait a minute, is my math wrong? 1 million to every American citizen comes to $340 million. And there's 1,000 million and a billion. And we're giving away billions of dollars throughout the rest of the world while we got people starving in this country. And everything that becomes this a desperate need. Homeless, all right, homelessness. A new shoes day. The homeless situation, the more money they raise, the more money our government gets for homelessness, the homeless numbers go up. They don't go down. Let's talk about California, where I live, because we know that for a fact. They just go up, the homeless numbers, because our politicians in this state, Newsom, Karen Bass, and other cohorts are all robbing the money. Yeah. Anyway, veterans, okay? Americans should stop putting their fingers out of other country business and take care of their own veterans. Yes, they should. All right? I'm a veteran, folks. I proudly served this country 1963 to 1966 under General Westmoreland of the 25th Infantry Division. You figure out what time, what era that was, what war was going on. Figure it out, folks. I don't talk. But our veterans need to be taken care of. I visit West LA VA Hospital, big complex they have. They do an awesome job. And the heroes are the people who work there, okay, that provide us military men, all right, with dental, hearing, any illness you got, okay, and they are all so respectful. You can't believe it. Folks, they're so, sometimes I just go there just to say hello. You will go back and see things that I've done. I give free books out to those people who work at the VA. Yes, I do. Folks, have you subscribed yet? Okay, have you hit that thanks button? Anybody with any thanks today? Help me out over here. I gotta have lunch. I gotta eat today. I hate to ask, but if I don't ask, then people don't know. I seriously do. I hate to ask for it. Okay? So, folks, my book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's available in Audible, Kindle, any way you like it. Autographed copies are only available on my website, which is in my profile. All right. One gal out of Brooklyn, New York, wrote me today on TikTok that, she bought my first book when it came out. And in my first book, I didn't have these letters at the end. Okay? There's a letter to my ex-wife, Rosemary. There's a letter to Michael Franche. Somebody just mentioned Michael Franche. I wrote a letter to Michael. I wrote a letter to Michael's father, Sonny Franche, who I knew for 50 years, right up until he passed away. Oh boy, what was it, a couple years ago now? He passed away at the age of 103, and I was the one who announced his death. There's letters to a lot of other people. And folks, in addition, are all my paperwork. My indictment, my plea deal, all right? My motions that I wrote to the judge. See, when you go to prison, you gotta have your paperwork with you to show that you're not a rat. My paperwork is right here in my book. So, in my book, in the epilogue, I ask for everybody to join hands so together we all can make this world a better place. I said that then when I wrote my first book. Anyway, going back to this young gal who goes by the name of Brooklyn, okay? She's going to buy, because in my first book I didn't have the letters. And this is a revised book. It's the latest edition now. It has the letter, and she's buying the book because she wants to read those letters. You want me to read a letter to you folks? Let me know. Okay? We don't have a lot of people here. I only got 46 likes. Okay? And I got no thanks today. Oh, well, I guess nobody's got any money. Oh, by the way, there's a letter to the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm not going to read that to you. It's boring. There's a letter to my children. Okay? My dear friend John Daly, producer of Platoon, Hoosiers, and several other movies. Joey Pyle, my best mate in London. Jack Gilardi, agent from ICM. Jerry Zimmerman. Jimmy Cacci, underboss to Los Angeles. Sonny, your letter to Sonny. I'm going to read that letter to you. All right? What letter you want to hear? The letter to Sonny Franche or the letter of my second wife? Put it in the comments, folks. Let me know what letter you'd like me to see. Okay? What letter you want to hear? Agent orders, I don't know what they're doing with the audit. They'll never tell us. Come on, you guys stop writing? You want Sonny Franche or you want Michael Franche? Or you want Rosemary? All right, folks, I'm going to read you the letter of Rosemary. Dear Rosemary, I want you to know that I still think of you often. I find that I should apologize to you for a few things. First, and most importantly, I want to apologize for what happened when we lived in Little Neck. I will not mention what it was, as we both know. I sincerely apologize to you for that. At that time, I was under federal indictment and I was just divorcing my wife Tony and leaving my children, which was the toughest thing I have ever done in my life. Being the first in the family to ever get a divorce in an Italian family. Okay? However, we still got married after that, and I absolutely loved you, and you are also a remarkable lady. We had a lot of good times together, and now here I am, a man at 75. That was 5 years ago I wrote this. And single. But I can honestly say I had two of the both best women in the world, and I blew it twice. Yes, I blew it. But on the other hand, I do not think I was ever built for marriage. It's just who and what I am. I did not live the kind of life to be married and have a home with a white picket fence. It's not who Ori Spado is. I hope you can understand that, and I'm sure by now you have accepted that. Okay, there's more to it, folks, and I'm not going to read the rest of it. If you want to read it, you can purchase my book. People stop writing here. All right, somebody got an altar. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Hi, Lynn. Yes, Carter Jones. Clark said I'm no gangster. Hi, Clark. You have right to freedom of speech, but I don't like to call anybody a moronic imbecile. Okay, but sometimes we have to. Yes, reply guy, you can ask me something. I'm proud of you, Black Knight also. All right, thank you for your service. All right. Thank you, PNP, for subscribing. Linda, your daughter just left California? Who's this guy, Clorox? See, folks, I allow somebody like Clorox to write what he wants. Although he's totally wrong, okay? He has freedom of speech like we all do. I don't delete, okay? The Gigliotti, we need to go to a nice Italian restaurant. Well, we got a lot of them here, my friend. Okay, if you're in the area, let me know. All right, thank you, Jack. Jack Kinley, I appreciate that. All right. Thank you, whoever you are in the Patty. Okay. All right, India. We got people from India. Okay. And let me read more here. Thank you, everybody, thanking me for my service. Folks, I see everybody's tired today. Okay, I wanted to tell you what I did. All right, thank you for coming. God bless you all. Have a great, wonderful day. All my love and respect. Take care.